Born on July 21, 1899 in Oak Park, Illinois, Ernest Hemingway served in World War I. He was a journalist for a while, and he wrote a series of short stories titled In Our Time. His most famous novels are The Sun Also Rises, A Farewell to Arms, For Whom the Bell Tolls, and The Old Man in the Sea, which won the 1953 Pulitzer Prize. In 1954, Hemingway won the Nobel Peace Prize. He committed suicide in Ketchum, Idaho. As a child, his mother was displeased with him and often dressed him up as a little girl and pretend he was the twin of his 18-month older sister. For 2 months during the summer, however, he was allowed to go to a boys' summer camp. It was here he decided he'd like to be a boy, which was important in choosing what he wanted to look like, because this meant that he would be drafted into the army later, which would influence his outlook on life and later, his writing. Once drafted, he became an ambulance driver in Italy. He was wounded after a French mortar shell hit his vehicle, sending shrapnel into both his legs and permanently ending his service. Ernest Hemingway is best known for his war literature. What makes him special is his writing style, which usually includes a hero who is adventurous, usually based on Hemingway himself. He is one of the most influential writers to date. The most influential thing he did was write in a unique writing style that can now be found in books across the world. Many people do not realize it is special because it is so common. This quote is from biography.com. Quote, Hemingway's fiction, especially his early work, was dominated by two types of characters. The first type were people altered by their World War I experiences, people who'd become detached and cynical, yet emotionally needy. The second type of character, perhaps a response to the first type, is a simple, plain-spoken individual of direct emotions who finds fulfillment or even redemption in fishing, bullfighting, or other physical activities, unquote. Hemingway's first task as an ambulance driver in Italy was to go and clear up remains after a factory bombing in Milan, Italy. These remains were mostly human remains, and this was his first exposure to the horrors of war. Some common themes in A Farewell to Arms, going off the 4 separate books, are blinding love leads to ignorant actions, and challenges in love can cause apathy. There were many historical events that influenced Hemingway's writing, but the first most important one was World War I. Because Hemingway was involved in World War I, this is what influenced him. You can read almost any one of his works and you'll find that it is set during World War I. Another important historical event is when America entered World War II. When America entered World War II, so did Hemingway, where he joined the naval forces. This started his infatuation with sea travel. This liking of it is also shown slightly in his earlier works, as is seen in Farewell to Arms, when Frederick and Catherine escape to Switzerland by boat after Frederick is accused of treason against the Italian army. This happens on page 229. Many of Hemingway's stories revolve around a young soldier falling in love with a nurse. These nurses in World War I were able to come and serve because they had the medical technology to do so. I found this on Key Concept 6.1.1.c. The use of vehicles is important to Hemingway's writing because during World War I, he was an ambulance driver in Italy. The use of automatic weapons in warfare was also revolutionary and changed the dynamic of warfare forever. In Hemingway's writing, many characters are injured by automatic weapons, which affects the character's outlook on life or personality, which shapes the rest of the novel.